Hi there everybody, my name is Kate and welcome to my channel, Trinergy Awakens, naturally, car time. It's currently right before spring equinox, so happy spring equinox, and happy Easter if you celebrate it. Happy spring, happy day, happy you, happy beautiful you. No matter what time of year it is that you come across this. This time of year, however, is a time of renewal and growth and rebirth, right? All the seeds that we planted are coming into blossom and things like that. And so after a season of death, we're blossoming once again. And so what I got this morning, as I jumped in my car, it was almost immediate. I have no idea why, but boy, it really does apply for me personally, and I'm probably not the only one, that when we walk around with handles hanging out, then we find very easily people who like to handle things. We find handlers. And when we're cultured in an environment, we grow up believing that everybody else has, you know, smarter ideas, better ideas, or, you know, what I should. That should thing, man, that's just one of my least favorite words. I'd rather hear it, potty language, like the whole George Carlin litany. Please, give me that all day, but please don't should my way. Please don't. That's a curse word that I won't tolerate you talking to me like that. But when we grow up with that programming and that codependency, that toxicity, that narcissistic stuff that's overbearing, however it leaks and squeaks and freaks in our world, nobody really got out of that. I don't know anybody that didn't have to do a whole lot of work to overcome the programming of the family they grew up in. It's just some families were nicer than others, and some families are more supportive of people finding their own independence and their sovereignty, while, you know, others will just knock you to the ground and tell you what kind of an idiot you are. So as I was getting in my car, I was thinking about how it was that I had an experience in the grocery store a little while ago while I was in there, that it used to be not uncommon when I was married and doing a whole different lifestyle. It was not uncommon because I was, you know, considered very mentally ill, and, you know, was just out there in some very strange places trying to find my mental balance, my mental health, and my emotional balance, constantly, you know, just feeling triggered by life. And it was not helped at all, because it was not uncommon for me to get directive from people in my family of, don't say that, don't do that, you're too loud, you know, and to get the looks and to get those shaming, you know, I don't have to say anything, I just have to, you know, give you that disapproving look. Things like, I remember I got a tattoo that was extremely significant to me, and someone in my family said, hey, look, did you see that she got a tattoo? And the person who used to be a significant matriarch in my family and prominently held that position and routinely let me know what that position was, and, you know, you should be deferring to me because I know what class and divinity and spirituality and doneness and, you know, wokeness and healed and all that other stuff. I know what that is, so you really should pay attention to me, because when you're not, you know, I really don't approve. And it blew my mind because the person looked and said, yeah, I saw that. And I thought, you know, that's really weird. I mean, I knew this person had a whole lot of shade that they would throw my way, yet it really, that was the beginnings of the end of those relationships for me, because I thought, this is coming off the heels of me being critically ill and on a deathbed, literally in a coma for a couple of weeks, and being in the hospital for 4 months, over 4 months, with lots of surgeries and near death. And I thought, you know, you were one of those people that was real super sad that I might have died, and yet you cared that I've gotten a tattoo to memorialize that experience for me in a way that is very significant to me, and is a tattoo. It is a permanent reminder to me of, yeah, that's not what I do anymore, and yet you're going to throw shade. And had already thrown shade about piercings and, you know, just stuff, and other people in the family weren't immune to it either. It's just that those of us that were the outcasts, you know, we were in our little pod and we didn't fit in. And so handling looked like that person didn't actually, you know, give me some sort of verbal cue that just dropped me into drone zone. However, I was clear that, oh, I don't approve of that. I don't like that. And closer in my own family that I lived with, you know, as when I was married, it was not uncommon to kind of get that shade of, you know, or the rolled eyeballs, you know, that, okay, there she goes again. Things like that that were so disempowering. And I always took that as, you know, that's their issue. It's no big deal. However, it did kind of hurt my feelings. And when it hurt my feelings enough and I said something routinely across my very dysfunctional family, not just the family that I married into or that I was creating, the family I came from, I mean, all dynamics of my life. I was dysfunctional, therefore I had a lot of handles for people to handle up on. They were handling up on shit that didn't belong to them, but hey, I was buying into the lie that that was what we were supposed to be doing and calling that support and empowerment, and healed. Yeah, okay, but I felt like I needed to say something sometimes, and I did, when it just was over the line of, look, you know, that's just a lot. That really hurts my feelings when I was told that I was super sensitive and I just needed to pull it in. Put your shit in one sock. I heard that a lot, and man, I about came unglued. That and calm down, relax, you know. I want to know the first time or any time that anyone has ever just calmed down because someone told them that. If they're so far that a person feels the need to say calm down, I haven't seen that work one time. That's a point of, you are disturbing my peace, you are disturbing the way this looks to other people, you're getting too rowdy, you're something, and you need to self-correct and adjust immediately because you're out of control. And it didn't matter whether I was raging like a lunatic or whether I was just, you know, expressing the fact that, look, I am upset about this and you're not hearing me. And that was the battle that came up routinely. But it was the handle I was hanging out there was that, oh, the handle is I need to sit here and argue with you about who's going to be in charge of my life. And then hand it away because I was buying the dysfunction, the toxicity, and the bullshit about how I wasn't functioning well in the world. What I was doing wasn't normal. It wasn't adequate. It wasn't something. And granted, you know, I was out there sometimes, you know, hopping out of cars, trying to run away from people, screaming, shut up, leave me alone. However, there was a buildup to that, and egging someone on and poking the bear, as it were, that's a type of handling that, man, I was out there all kinds of ways with my handlers handling shit that, get out of my face, you know, I don't like this. And not being properly diagnosed with autism, or at least I was properly diagnosed, it's just we piled on a whole lot of other mental health things that, yeah, that's not what that is. This is the rage, the frustration, and the absolute I'm done being controlled, and yet I'm buying into the bullshit that I have to be, because obviously normal people don't act like this. And you know, for my own personal life and for my neurodivergency, neurodivergent people do normally act that way in their lives, and it doesn't mean that I have license to just get angry, frustrated, and, you know, go completely nuclear on someone. However, I absolutely do have the right to say, that hurts my feelings and you got to go away. If your best answer, 818, is to tell me that I'm too sensitive, then you're too insensitive as far as I'm concerned. And I could never bring myself to say that and then walk out the door. It was constantly, there's the handle of codependency, that my handle of codependency is gripping hold of your handle of, you know, codependency. We're gripping each other's terribly, that I'm going to sit here and try to educate you about that you need to be more sensitive. You should, we should stop shoulding one another. That's what we should do, is stop shoulding each other, because it is should killing us. It should kill us, and it did. It killed my whole entire relationship with everybody that I knew that wasn't willing to change that venue of, I don't need a handler. I don't need somebody to explain to me what adult behavior is. I don't need somebody to tell me what responsibility is, because how is it that a person goes from needing a handler, somebody to tell me how to walk, what to say, oh, you're going the wrong way, you should do this, you know, basically treating me like I was a complete moron, and me buying into it because, you know, having someone that you think you respect or that you think you should respect tell you that, or suggest that, yeah, okay, I guess, that wears off after a while, and the battle just became, never mind, I guess they're right, because I keep fighting, but I was fighting to get out of a wet paper bag, and, you know, over and over and over again, it's an easy fight. It's an easy, yeah, no, I'm not doing that anymore. When I finally got it, that this is some bullshit. You're telling me things that are not true about me, and I'm believing things that aren't true about thee. That's what's really a problem. And it's not that I wasn't without fault or without any kind of flaw. It's just that if people can't handle a flaw without wanting to handle it in a way that micromanages me, controls me, or I want to control them, it was nothing but sharing that back and forth. And those are handles where, you know, I don't want to be handled, friend. I don't want to handle you, and I don't want to be handled. However, it fell into this whole deep state of, you know, oh my God, that was the cabal of my life, is the deep state of denial about what really needed to be said, which is that I'm not as stupid as you think I am. As a matter of fact, you know, I might not be quite so dumb to begin with. Hi there. I might not be such an idiot, you know, if you actually listen to me. And I actually had somebody say that, you know, well, that was actually kind of smart what you just said right there, what you just did. And I thought, is this person for real? And then when I went through divorce, another comment that came up was, yeah, I'm surprised that she's still alive. Like, so you thought that I was just gonna fall down, double down, and die because we weren't in a relationship anymore, you know, or I wasn't part of the fam anymore, that I'd been cut out, that my handler had been removed from my life, that what was I going to do? You know, I'd have to go find another handler or I'd just die. That's truly what people thought of me. That was the height of, you know, what people thought of me, and I didn't really fully understand that, because the denial for me was about, well, I guess if I'm buying into this lie and this bullshit that I need somebody to do this for me, then I guess they're right. I must not be able to take care of myself. 1133. I must not be smart enough. I must not be something, even though it never set right in here that, wait a minute, you know. And I'm also very nonchalant about a lot of that stuff because I've been different for my whole life. I'm used to people just kind of making assumptions, because I can sound super stupid sometimes. And even if I was, you know, considered intellectually challenged or, you know, cognitively delayed or something, it still doesn't mean that I deserve to be treated like, you know, I can't do anything for myself, or that I need a handler who's going to be, you know, unkind and cruel, and discount my feelings, my emotions, and where I am, you know. And 1212. And when I was trying to explain all this stuff, it fell on deaf ears, and I realized that, oh, this is right here where we need to drop the handle. I don't want to do this anymore. This is ridiculous for me to spend any amount of time trying to beg for someone to see my worthiness or to be a part of what I'm really about, which is I'm about empowering myself so that I can empower other people and I don't feel threatened by whatever it is that they're doing that I think they should be doing. Take all that whole thing out, because really, truly, I don't want to be responsible for you, 1244, because I don't want anybody being responsible for me. I really didn't like that dynamic. It was just easy to, after a while, you know, it became easy to believe all the lies and to believe all the, you know, stories about myself and other people, and getting tapped into shame, you know, that just never quite, I could never quite get away from it, because I was constantly picking at a sore, a scab, a wound, you know, allowing that to be stabbed over and over and over again, by not understanding that when people 1313 tell me that I'm too sensitive, or they give me some reason why what I'm saying to them, and I'm bringing an honest, you know, this really bothers me, this hurts my feelings, it's not confrontational, and I'm not bringing in the heat, then why you want to smoke with me? If I'm not bringing, you know, the heat to you, or if I'm not looking to make beef, or I'm not looking to smoke with you, then you know, what's your problem with this? And stepping away and being able to say, yeah, I don't want to smoke with anybody, and I wish they wouldn't want to smoke with me, because it hurts people's feelings when we get too raw and real with, yeah, I'm done, I've had enough now. But you know, when people are not teachable, they're not reachable, they don't want to hear, they don't want to know, you know, withdrawing all those handles pisses people off that like to grab a hold of people's handles and control them. It really makes them mad, and they go off the chain sometimes and go sideways with stuff that, you know, wow, this is really hard to watch what that really was this whole time, and that's really what you were. However, thank you for that lesson. I'll send a fruit basket and thank you note later after I evacuate 1414, the MoFone building. So Anyway, I hope that you're well, and I hope that you found something that you can chew on and think about and consider with that. But I hope you're enjoying your day no matter what part of the day you're in. And remember, get within your skin because you're divine. It's absolutely fine, and it has no handles for the outside world to be picking and prodding and poking or divining for you. Divine doesn't need any human intervention to help it divine. Divine is already fine. So when we get inside, we can really rely on that and use that handle to the ethers for help me, help myself, to help you, to help me, etc. It's an ongoing cycle. So take care, get within, and enjoy being in your skin. I'll see you again, friends. Bye-bye.